And we are live. I'm joking. Guys, how's it going?
All good.
I've missed you guys. It's been a while.
It has. It actually has been a long time since the last one.
And I can't remember the last time we forced a Friday episode. Because, we forced this one. We're like, nah, we have to do it. We have to do it. How was time off, family, and everything, and all those things? Compliments, new
It
season,
went
whatever.
so fast. It went too fast, honestly. It's
Right.
it's
Are you
it's,
one of
it's
those where Monday it's back to the office?
yep. So I didn't go on leave because I work from home, so it's not like really necessary. But it does seem like Monday everything is going back to full flow because the last couple of days, weeks have been just quiet, 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 quiet.
Okay, you're not alone. Mike, your side. We haven't seen you in forever, but
Yeah, I've been busy. It's work. Yeah, side hustles. Yeah, man. I've been doing late nights, so I haven't been able to attend. So I guess it's a
no
new year.
worries. No.
I've got a little bit of time.
Where do we start, gents? Where do we start?
I don't want to start on my team. We can start on yours team.
I think let's go. I'm just putting up a ticker, and this is for hold on. I'm putting on a ticker for Mike, and it's something that we've spoken on this week. There we go. Mike, go for it. Oh, I need to press the display button. That will help. And there we go.
I can't see it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I haven't. There we go.
Oh.
So
You're such a clown, dude.
just to give context, so we've got a WhatsApp group that's going on, and I think was it the L that we took against Fulham where Mike was so livid. He's like, "Fuck this, Enzo must go." And we're like, "Yo, hold your horses." But we didn't give you the platform that you deserve to go right ahead and vent out your frustration on Enzo and his ways. I saw that you gave a preview of tomorrow's game. We'll speak on that also. The floor is yours, Mike.
I think I don't have much to say. He's a championship manager. Um, Look, I think it's like I was actually having a chat with one of the guys that supports Chelsea the other day. The problem is favoritism, like, and I think it's almost simmering into a squad where people can play knowing with no matter how bad I can play, because I'm the one of the coach's favorites, I'm guaranteed to start the next game. And I think it's maybe my frustration was coming is like, how do you justify substituting João Felix
Yeah.
when others have been were performing worse than him?
Mm.
I think
Yes,
Felix on that game had the most shots on target. Oh, he was in the first half, the first 45. He was fiery. He was getting it wrong, but he was getting the shots either on target or but he was the player that was showing signs of a threat.
yeah. So I think it's where does from a how do I say this? It's Mark Huey also. He scored a hat trick in the Conference League. Can't even get minutes in the Premier League. We all know Gunk is not a striker. Why do we continue playing him? Why do you continue making? I think his substitutions usually happen on the 70th or 75th minute, and it's for the exact same person.
Mm.
And it's like, I guess people are saying, no, we're still learning. And it's like, guys, it's like, look, I think it's at the end of the day, I think it's we spend so much money for the mentality that's currently set at the Chelsea men's team. You look at the women's team, if it too, they've got that winning mindset, though.
Yeah, yeah.
When you go to the men's team, man, and it's a holiday, it's experiment. After spending almost like I think it's probably over $1 billion now
And
on
there's
play, and it's like, okay, when are we gonna challenge? Is top four good enough? And can we actually make top four? Because it seems like we've been found out. And it's the
Hmm.
exact same thing that happened last season when he was at Leicester. You know, the only reason
his
we
last
won,
5 games. His last 5 games were thinking that the tail end of the season he kind of like plateaued. I recall that.
so I think it's at the end of the day, I look at it and I'm like, I don't think we're gonna actually even make it to the Champions League spot.
Trishul, what are your views?
So, look, when we had our preview show at the start of the season, I think I said Chelsea fifth or sixth. I said Chelsea Europa League spot, and then look, of recent, I can't say I've watched Chelsea because of a lot of your last. I think your last 3 games are all at the same time as the United game.
Yeah.
So I couldn't watch those, and those are the 3 games that you guys. I think it was 2 defeats and a draw, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, when I watched Chelsea, it's like there was definitely an identity there. There was definitely flowing football, but you could see it was one of those where if one thing goes out of line, then the whole thing just comes crashing down. And that's what sort of happened in these last 3 games. And there is two players that I do want to talk about. Like I started the season shitting on Nicholas Jackson, and then he started performing, but then now he's dropped off very badly. I've seen some of the chances he's been missing. No top four or title chasing striker should be missing some of those chances. The other one I want to talk about is Nkunku. Like the inconsistency shouldn't, like you're 27. You like people knew how good you were when you were. I think it was Leipzig. You can't come into a Chelsea team and it's like he doesn't even have a position. And I just feel like I said this about you guys, I said this about Arsenal. There needs to be a proper number nine,
Yeah.
a proper goal scoring number nine who all you need to do is give him the ball and let him shoot. And I know there aren't that many top class number nines out there, but it's not like Chelsea have been shit though. Mike, like when you started saying
So
get
okay.
this
So
out, I was like, no, man.
Nah, but no, let me tell you, it all starts now. You'll see him. Tomorrow it's gonna be an L against Crystal Palace. You can see it. Like at the end of the day, we've been shit
Yeah.
the
for
last
the
three
last
games,
couple of weeks. We just
the
got lucky
last
against Brentford. We've been shit. Like you can see it, and you're like, guy, man. And then the mere fact that, like I said, it's like he's dropping the ball but not promoting merit. Like if you have a shit game, you need to sit on the bench. Not now. No matter how you play, you are guaranteed to start next week.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then the guys on the bench, it's like, ah, fuck it. Like, what if no matter how I perform, I'm still gonna be on the bench.
I think the
okay.
defense is also a major problem as well. Like recent of recent, especially seeing the messages in the group, I can just tell that the defense has been a major problem. But it it's not like last season where everything was a problem. Here it's you guys have found a style. You found a manager who can implement that style and a manager who doesn't take shit from his players. And it's just about fixing a few things. Getting a striker, getting a centre back and a left back. I think because I don't think Cucurella and Chilwell are your go-tos if you wanna.
What do you mean? Cucurella is one of the best left backs in the world, dude.
I don't know about that
Yes,
one.
dude.
I
What
don't
do you
know
mean?
about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know about that
Hmm?
one. I don't know about that one.
Nah, dude. Cucurella is
So
solid, bro.
on
Cucurella
our
is
last
solid.
3 games, okay, was a draw against Everton, the L that we took against Fulham, and then the L we took against Ipswich. So I've watched all 3 of those games, and when Mike said that we've been found out, beginning of the season, I had the view that when Enzo put up his squad, he did something brilliant where he told you that this player is playing in this position and this is your competition. Okay, and they were all like different players. Like you've got Sancho, who's not the quickest, but he's very technical in that he excludes defenders. He literally he takes defenders with him, and then when he comes in like he beats them on skill. And then you've got Noni, who we hope will use his pace to go right ahead and. But now I'm at the point where I don't see plan B. I don't know if that makes sense. The plan A that we have as Chelsea that has worked should work, but it's not working. So let's find an alternative. And against Everton, that was the most frustrating bonus growth I've seen in a very long time. Okay, and there's something that's creeping into the team where if it's not going their way, they show like a signs of being petulant, like they're kids, like they demand to win, like not demand to win, like the win is owed to them. They start,
No, but they are kids, my guy.
welcome, Cheese, welcome. I see you donning the champions kit.
No, we're still 4 in a row, my brother. They still have to take it away from us.
But
But like I just said, dude, there's the problem with Chelsea is still there's over reliance on Cole Palmer, and if Cole Palmer has a cold game, then it's all lovely for Chelsea. But if he's quiet, it becomes a big problem, and that's the same thing with Man United. Is if Bruno does not on the game, Threshold's goat. There's always going to be a problem in terms of creativity, which is why in the previous game they struggled to create chances, and which is why when Palmer's not on it, Chelsea is always going to be second best in those games. And besides, I mean, Mike's cousin Disasi didn't have to do that thing. In any case, I don't see you guys scoring.
How's Disasi my cousin?
Oh, you love him. You love those French centre backs when I told you
Nah,
about
dude, nah. The only one I used to support was what's it, Bereshile, Pelara.
he's probably worse, Kumban. He's probably worse.
and
Is he in good spirits since City did City win this past weekend?
No, of course. It's it's one of those games. Look. I mean, that game was one of the games we had to win, right? Everton is very tricky. Every team goes there, and there's something that happens that's very unorthodox, which is why I think they've been keeping afloat. But they don't go to win games. They're just very hard to beat, um, which is a testament to the fact that who's this? Tarkovsky is actually in one of the highest rated teams in the Premier League for the first half of the season. So it just shows how well he's been defending and doing well at with that defensive unit. But look, we needed to get a win at some point, and it was nice to have these few lightweight games that doesn't test us too much. But I'm very honest with myself. We are very far off the board. You guys know how I feel about City in the group. We are way from our best. Everything happens too slowly, and it's just too easy to get out of defense. And we don't really have a keeper who's saving us. And yeah, it is what it is, man. There's not much we can say, but this is basically the problem with going for four titles in a row. There's going to be burnout. There's just going to be a lack of sufficient replacements in the squad. I think most of the guys we should have been carrying the team now are doing really well at other teams. So yeah, it's going to be a tough period.
Before we move to dissect where City ends, where do we see Chelsea ending, given where we are now?
Top four easily.
They have to, Trusho. It's not like it's negotiable.
Yeah,
If you
I
pump
think at
that
this
much
point
money,
Out of
you
form.
can't.
yeah,
They've been
if
found
you
out.
pump that much money into the team, you guys can't go to Conference League.
They've
ever.
been found out, dude. Watch tomorrow. They're gonna catch an L against Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you guys
he's,
always
And
beat
you
Palace.
have the added
I think, I
benefit
think,
of,
I think,
of an owner who can spend the money and you're in a
Nah,
champion.
you see,
You
you see
can
at the
spend
beginning,
now.
you see at the
Yep.
beginning of the season, right? Enzo wasn't afraid to make changes early. These
Mm.
days, it's so predictable. He waits until the 75th minute, 80th minute. It's Nkunku for Jackson.
Yeah, but Jackson's
well,
also fallen off the
he had
board.
them win the
But
pitch
by
the
the
same
way,
time in the last game.
Mike, your form is also coinciding with Jackson because if Palmer's not contributing the goals,
Mhm.
then none of the other guys in your team are contributing with goals.
Mm.
So your current form is coinciding with the decline of Jackson. He's even out of most people's fantasy teams. That just shows
Mhm.
how bad he's been doing.
Yeah, but then why doesn't he give fair chances to other people?
Well, ideally, the only person who can play that position is Gio.
Yeah, but why is he not given a
Nkunku,
chance?
Palmer, Felix are all the same sort of player. Doesn't make sense to see them play all three, which is why I think you guys struggle. Um,
Which is
Felix
why
was
I always wondered why you guys bought Felix back. I
yeah,
think that it should not have happened. Felix
yeah,
doesn't fit in that team. And then to
anymore.
get Sancho on top of that,
I
it's
think,
a
I think
free.
he was brought in as backup for Palmer, just in case anything happened to Palmer.
Yeah, and also
And
if you watch Leipzig, Nkunku at any point in the season was striker. He never played striker. Nkunku at nowhere in the season last year. It was all Sesko. He was the one who was busy banging the goals. Gugu's one who was assisting. So it was there in between the role that Cole Palmer plays. So it's almost impossible to then now make me the main striker in the team. How does
yeah, because I'm
no
not gonna
sense?
lie, Christopher looks lost. He looks very
He's not a
lost.
nine.
Yeah.
Even on FIFA you can't play him as striker. You can't play him as striker on FIFA because it's just not his role.
But then
Okay,
isn't
let's
it
move over
better to
to.
build a team around him, though?
But who? He plays the same position as Palmer. If you're
But
building the team around
Palmer
Palmer,
could play on
you
the right.
can't build the team around Gugu and
But
Palmer.
if you put Palmer on the right, you lose a lot
You
because then
can't put
he's
Palmer
only
on
able
right.
to
Yeah.
operate on that right hand side.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
you put him on
that's
the
not
right.
going
That's
to
what
work.
he usually comes in. Put him on the right. Revert to the old system where you got Gusto overlapping. Cucurella comes in as like an inverting midfielder.
I don't know why
Yeah.
Gusto struggles to get game time as well. I really like Gusto.
You know what I said like initially I said that in tougher or harder games you need to get Palmer onto that wing position to give him enough space and freedom to create chances from not too much a compressed position. Because whenever the teams cloud that position, it's easy to push Palm off the ball and rough him up, and then he's a kid. He's gonna be petulant. He gets a yellow card. There's people who captained him on fantasy, even triple captained.
That's
Then they were
minus.
crying.
That's
So
minus.
so I agree with Mike. In some instances, in big games, you can have a guy who's more stronger. We can have a solid three of Enzo, Caicedo, and Lavia in strong bigger games. Like you're saying, you play against Liverpool, or you play against City, then you put him against Robertson, for example, you're playing against Liverpool, and say, Robertson, if you go up there, I want to see if you can stop Palmer if he gets the ball in so much space. And it makes
Mm.
more sense to have sort of situations like that. But in games where there's a low block, you definitely want to struggle because Madueke and your striker have been
They're
off
not
form.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
been
but I
off.
mean, João Felix can do well against low blocks. Why don't you play him?
Yeah, but the problem is he has to play in that same position that you want to have Palmer there.
Mm.
But you
Look,
need to
Mike,
almost
Mike,
make it
Mike.
work.
Who
That's
would
where
you
you get
want?
paid
Who
with
would
this.
you want? Who would you want behind the striker between Felix and Palmer?
Don't
You
ask
can,
Mike that.
huh?
Don't ask Mike that.
No, I mean, I put Palmer out wide, dude. I put him out on the right.
Yeah.
And I'll let Felix
and
do
then and put Felix behind the striker.
You
Felix
saw, you
is
saw
not
in
that
the
bad. He
you
just
saw in
needs
the
to
game
run in
against
front.
you saw
Huh?
the game against Ipswich. How many times they blocked that half 10 of his? Almost four
Yeah.
times they created transition of him trying to spin
Right
in
in the
very
middle.
dangerous
Right in
position.
the middle of the in the
Yeah.
middle of the park. I
Maybe three or
remember
four
that.
times, Mike, and I'm not joking. Three or four times where he tried to do
But how many
a
games has that
different.
guy played, though? How many games has he played? He was a bit obvious, but he wasn't the worst out of all the bunch.
No, great.
And I mean, this guy, this is his first 40 minutes in how many weeks? Though? or 60 minutes in how many weeks?
Let's hope
Barely.
he starts tomorrow. Let's hope he starts
Guy,
tomorrow.
he's not gonna start tomorrow, dude. He's on the bench.
We'll
I want
see.
to ask,
Let's.
guys, is Gusto registered for y'all's Conference League squad?
That's play league. I have no idea. I don't know who's registered there. It's play league. That's where the guys
Because
just get like a couple of minutes.
I know that he played like most of y'all's games starting as right back, but of recently he hasn't. I think it was the last game or the game before where Disasi played right back. What happened there?
He just came back from an injury. He had a muscle strain. I think that's what
Why
they call
didn't
it.
he injured? I
Gusto.
thought he was just getting
Yeah.
benched.
No. Gusto's always been playing. He's been in my fantasy team dropping me points. They just rested him. There's someone saw Mike's tweet and he decided to rotate the team. And he rotated the team.
Nah, but Gusto hasn't been good this season, and that's also because of the system. He looked a better player under Poch.
You know why?
He looked a
You
better
know
player.
why? No, but you know why? So Noni Madueke is an alternate winger. He wants to hug that touchline. And Gusto's an overlapping fullback. So they both on the touchline. So it's like two guys basically running into each other on the touchline. And even if Gusto does underlap, he's not that good of a passer like a Trent or a Reece James. So it does create a problem. And I think with Reece James being a good person underlapping and he can also accompany Madueke to cut in, then be better. They somehow need to coach Madueke into the cutting in rather than holding into the wing for too much. He's not Jack Grealish. Someone needs to tell him that.
Yeah,
Someone.
Jack doesn't have a goal in 2024. But anyway, let's transition over to City. I hear you in for Newcastle's Bruno. Does he solve your
Yeah,
problems?
we were in for Bruno last season, remember? So we were in for Bruno last season. They asked for something like 120 million for Bruno. So Pep was like, you know what, maybe not, which proved to actually be a bad decision. And he went for Mateus Nunes, which was a good versatile player, but he was never going to be the player that we need in the City setup. He was never going to be that. He was always going to be someone who was going to be a squad player and help wherever he could when he needed to. Which is a testament to the fact now to the next week he's playing left wing, the next thing he's playing right back, next thing he's playing holding with whoever. So ideally, for me, the most person I wanted us to sign was Paqueta. We needed to get Paqueta until I found out that he, don't want to say he does drugs, but he bets on games and he tells his teammates, which sounds like someone who smokes drugs. So it's not a good look on him. I would have really loved Paqueta in our team. I think if we had Paqueta in our team, he would be right up there with one of the best players in the league again this season. But now they have Lopetegui, and he now looks like a very average guy in a very average team. But I'd take almost anything just to replenish our squad. To be honest, Sikhi. Anything. I'd even take Pogba. I'd take David De Gea if they don't want him anymore at Fiorentina. Right now, honestly, I'd take anything. But look, I'd even take people back. I said in the group the other day, I'd be like, you know what? I'd take my fat boy at Ipswich just to come here and chill and be an extra holding mid player until Rodri comes back. Then
I
go
like
see
I like Pogba. I like Pogba very much. I'm very
the
much
idea of
interested.
Pogba as well. Yep, the idea of Pogba as well is very enticing for me. We're in for a 20-year-old centre back just to replenish the squad at the back as well. But overall, there's nothing concrete. It'd be nice to have Alvarez. It'd be nice to have Palmer. It'd be nice to have all these guys are doing really well in the Premiership now to help out in the squad.
Views, gents? What can City do to fix their Rodri issue or non-issue, depending how you look at it?
Zubamendi. I think, geez, you even know this. You bring Zubamendi, you're fine. Like,
Yeah,
you're not going to win the league, but you're fine.
but the problem with bringing Zubimendi is as soon as Rodgers back, he's going back to the bench. Which for him, being wanted by so many teams who are willing to make you a starter, doesn't make the City deal like enticing, right? Like if you're gonna go to United or Liverpool and you're gonna start, there's no Ballon d'Or winner who's gonna come back and all of a sudden taking your position. Then it's a different story, right? And you don't want to be a backup to a Ballon d'Or winner.
He's not guaranteed he's gonna come back the same though.
Rodri. So remember, Rodri had this similar injury when he was at Atletico. That's when Thomas Partey started playing. So he's for our system. There's no player in the world who can do it better than him. And I think in order for Pep as well to solidify his stay, he needs Rodri back. I think City just needs Rodri back. It's not even like an event anymore. You can see how bad it is. You can see how tentative when we are. We need to play out from the back. Rodri in 2 or 3 touches is positive. He's sending that ball to our tens. I mean, we play with so many creative players now. It'd be interesting to see how Rodri does. And again, people forget, guys. People forget that we are on this poor run after not losing in 11 games or something when we first started the season. So the run that we're coinciding is testament to the fact that we can do it without Rodri. The only problem is that how long can we sustain it? And this is the problem now where we are, is how long.
Okay. I think this is Pep's team. He knows how to get the best out of them. I think, it's that season where everyone is overrun and everyone is just, I don't know, they're super tired. Like your best players are looking bang average.
Yeah, we also need
hoping that Kevin comes back and he lights it up like he normally does. But he's coming back. There's an injury
we
there.
have to let people go. There's a lot of people. Look, Bernardo needs to go. Bernardo Silva needs to go. Kevin De Bruyne needs to go. Kyle Walker needs to go.
Okay, yeah, that one everyone agrees with.
Look, there's lots of players in our team that Gundo needs to go. Who's that fat boy at Ipswich needs to go.
Phillips
needs to go. And we just
Jack.
really have to start from ground. Look,
Jack.
No one's gonna buy him. Honestly, we have to send him to a small club, and again for himself, he needs to go. He needs to find another club. Because Pep is clearly going in a new direction. We have more exciting wingers, lots of young guys coming in. I mean, this Claudio Echeverri guy is going to come in from Argentina. Is really exciting player. Is really young. It's pretty much like all of these Argentinian guys who are now in the Premier League, playing for Brighton, playing for Chelsea, and so forth. A lot of these young guys coming from South America are very exciting. And the likes of Jack, who's going to be a safe person, hold the ball, push it up, pass it back to your fullback, is not going to cut it anymore, because it just makes people come back for the low block. Teams are prepared so much for City that they have a back five similar, even if the winger is not a defender, but he always tucking in to make sure we stop the left or right wing. And at the end of the day, it's just how we can do things faster. For me, it's just the more faster you are, the more confident you are in your passing. That's the City we know. The current City, no. Too many passes going backwards, too many passes going sideways, too many passes going to the keeper, and then the pass then is hit up to Haaland, and Haaland must try to hold it up. Too predictable. And Onke and Krizo, we are not getting exhaust guy. Forget about it.
All right, let's give Trushul his 15 minutes of fame. Anfield, Sunday.
I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not even gonna bother watching, because I don't want to put myself through that mentally.
The game or the highlights? The 08 highlights.
It's just gonna be an embarrassment, and I won't be surprised if it's another 7, because you must remember when we went there last time, we were cup final winners. We were playing good football. We were one of the better teams around, and they were set, and they still put us for 7. Now we're 15th. They're the best team in the world, and I think the biggest problem is that their right winger is Mohamed Salah and our left back is Diego Dalot. That's the biggest problem.
Martinez.
It's not going to end well. That's not going to end well for anyone associated with United. Personally, I would just play a 5-back, 2 CDMs, bench Bruno, bench Garnacho, bench Ahmad, rest them. Don't play them. Rest them. Just defend. don't
I'm
just
just
keep
thinking. I'm
That
just
the
sounds like
thinking.
a
respectable.
double-decker bus.
Just go
I'm
there,
just
park the
thinking.
bus. Don't keep the scoreline respectable, 2-3. But it's just I don't know, dude. I don't know what you guys want me to say.
That
I'm
meme,
keen.
that
It's gonna
meme
be
from last year.
interesting.
That meme from last year when Lisandro Martinez is looking that way and Salah is running that way. It's from
Yeah,
last
I remember that. So I know there's going to be an episode where it's purely just Man United, just like focusing on what's going on in that circus show of a club.
Mm.
I try to be positive for you guys and like look at like maybe positive aspects because I watched your game against Newcastle. I was flicking through and whatnot, and I can't see any. I can't say if this player has a brilliant game, it changes everything for Man United because it has to be more than just one player who has a brilliant game for United to have a chance, a fighting chance against this Liverpool. This Liverpool, they are ruthless. They are efficient. Salah is a man on a mission. He's fighting for his contract. I don't know 400k that he wants or whatever over a 4-year period. He's showing that he deserves it, and this is his best season. And in the best season, now you're being asked, yeah, like you look at the Man United defense. You guys have taken a defender that I thought was like an okay defender, and you've made him like Pap. Who's that guy that came from Bundesliga? I thought he was an okay player.
I think De Ligt has been one of our better players this season.
I know
I think
you've
he's
turned him
been
into
pretty
something else
solid
now.
for us.
But it's the United curse, Sihle. Name one player who's gotten better. Hey, wait.
Now,
Name any person who's went to United and gotten better. That includes coaches. I think I wanted to say players, but let's include coaches.
it was Benny McCarthy when he went and he coached because now I think he's got another job.
Benny McCarthy can't even get a job now in South Africa, bro. They're like,
Yeah. So for all that dirty parking there, he's unemployed. He doesn't know what to do.
bro, he's
So
a pundit.
it's pointless.
He's a pundit. He's writing newspapers for Daily Sun, even though it's closed.
So
I don't.
wait,
I
is
don't
Ugarte
think.
available this weekend?
Look. We need to sell Rashford, and not just because I want him gone, but because selling Rashford allows us to spend. I think. But you see, the thing is, there's so many positions that need to be sorted out. We need a striker and we need a left back, well, a left wing back. And then like I don't know what to do with this number 10, half 10, wide 10, central winger position. Because if we don't figure out what when I say we, I mean if these players can't figure out what this manager is trying to do, it's not going to work. Apparently, since he's joined in, he's only had 4 full training sessions because of how thick and fast the games have been coming and the rest days and stuff like that. I don't know how true that is, but it shouldn't be an excuse. We shouldn't have dropped off after that, after Ten Hag got fired. We played
No.
one game. I think it was.
I think
Everton.
your board, your indecisiveness, the board being indecisive is what has you in this position. Okay, because if you walk through the
100%.
timeline of what happened for you to go get your new manager, he was offered to you before the season started. Because you guys
Oh
were
no,
saying
I saw that report about him being offered to us and we turning him down because of the play style. That's not true. I can tell you categorically that's not true. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. I know for a fact that that's not what happened. It wasn't to throw a spanner in the works. It wasn't us that he was offered to. But I won't say anything more.
But anyway, the things that are going on at United are frustrating. Rashford, is Rashford the sum of? Is he the problem of everything? As in, if you let him go, then there's a there's
No.
positivity, there's like I feel like there's a lot of focus on him alone, and that shouldn't be the case.
He has been made the scapegoat. But I suppose that's because he has been, well, I won't say the problem, but he's been a major part of the problem for some time. You know, the wages and not delivering. But it's also now that if he doesn't leave, we're kind of screwed in terms of backing this guy in January. Because if we don't sign anyone, it's not going to get better. Even like we need a left wing back. Dallo cannot play left wing back. He can't. The guy is brain dead. And like last season, he was one of the top fullbacks, year before as well. But he's so brain dead. Even Mazraoui, like when he played at right back, he was class. When he was playing right centre back, he was class. He can't play right wing back. I don't know what it is. It's like she's mentioned it earlier with you guys and Palmer. If Palmer has a bad game, you guys sort of switch off. You're not having your best day. With us, it's not even a thing of Bruno having a good game, because even if Bruno is having a good game, everyone else around him is playing like shit. Like Xerxes, look, first of all, the fans that booed him, that's disrespectful. Don't do that. You shouldn't be doing that to a player, especially at a home game. Don't do that. I understand he hasn't been good, but don't boo a player off. But he's been bad. Hoyland, look, I love Hoyland to bits and I can defend him, but his attack positioning is pathetic. He doesn't know where to be. He's not lethal. I think that's the best way to put it. He doesn't have that thing where with Haaland, it's like he's there at the right moment. When the cross is in, when the through ball is in, he's there. With Hoyland, it's like there's just nothing. He can finish, he has a good shot on him, but that's about it. We need a striker, we need a left wing back as soon as possible. Because and I don't know that the thing is, usually I could sit here and give you a list of names about who we should sign, but who would want to come to us? I think that's the question that we need to ask. Nobody wants to join the shit show. Olmo doesn't want to leave Barcelona. I don't know. I'm at this point where I genuinely can't tell you what we're going to do. Because as much as I sat there and said, look, Ineos are here, let them do the decision making, the guy who was hired to do the decisions and make the hard decisions got fired.
That was a weird one. That was like you caught someone for like months on end. You pay like 10 million, and then 6 months later, less than 6 months later, you fire him. But anyway, the one thing I'm noticing is that with United, it seems like every season there must be a sideshow besides the actual football, and there must be like a character that gets blamed for everything, be it the manager, be it Cristiano, be it whoever, be it Pogba, be it Mourinho. Like there has to be like the focus on actually being good at what the business that you are in. It's weird. And I look at it, and you've got Ineos. I know you're going to speak about it at some point during the week when there's a Man United episode. They're cutting freaking stewards' bonuses by half, which is disgusting. Meanwhile, you've got with Americans, the Glazers fucking taking dividends, and I'm like, okay, I get that you are cutting costs, but why are costs being cut right at the bottom of the food chain? Because I don't think these $10, these freaking £100 that they're cutting off their bonuses will make a dent or a difference in how much they save. But anyway, that's me not really understanding the financials of football.
It's very distasteful to do that to the staff, especially because some of these staff have been at United for decades. And when I heard
Christmas party was cancelled.
When I heard about that charitable organization for ex-players, especially the ones that are low income, so the ones that from the 70s, 80s, 90s that are not, they're old now, they're not going to be working. And footballers back then, your pension wasn't great. When you're playing in the 70s and 80s, you weren't earning hundreds of millions a year. But to cut out that funding,
that's disgusting.
40,000 a week, you pay players like Rashford 5 times that every single week. Sorry, 40,000 a year, and you're paying Rashford more than 5 times that every single week. You can't do that. It's
and I was
just
correcting you there
disrespectful to
that
the
the
club.
40,000 is not per week; it's per year.
Yeah. It's and what's 40,000 gonna do, guys? 40,000 in a year, that's not gonna do anything for the club.
No,
I understand
I
he
think
can say he's trying to sort out the financial mismanagement from the Glazers, but there's better ways to do it. There's many better ways to do it. You can't be cutting out people's livelihoods because if your back staff, your like you said, the food chain, if the backroom staff, if those guys are not happy at work, then the environment is just not going to be happy. So what are they trying to do? It's like I understand they've been put in charge of the football operations, but it's clearly the not their main concern if this is what they're doing. And the football hasn't even been great as well. It's not like they cut off 40K a year and suddenly Rashford is banging in a goal every game. You know, it's not like Hoyle and Xerxes have switched on. It's not like Bruno is getting an assist every game. So
I think
I
on
don't understand what that's doing.
Xerxes, you need to loan him out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, him being at theater of nightmares, it's toxic for him. You need to loan that boy out, and I think loan him out of EPL. He needs to go to a league that he feels appreciated and loved. Because
I saw something about
I
Juventus
missed the
being in for
incident.
him. I would send him to Juve.
Yeah, I missed
Bro,
the incident.
Thiago Motta compared him to Ronaldinho, so he'll definitely go there.
I don't know which Ronaldinho, Thiago Motta was. Maybe the one that was 40 years old, was drunk, came back to play in the friendly games. Maybe that
Oh,
Ronaldinho.
he'll definitely go there. The problem is right now the direction that Juventus is going. I don't even think they're willing to spend on Xerxes now, even if it's for loan.
What do you
But
guys think the problem at United is? Well, obviously, I will have my bias, but like from an outsider's perspective, off the pitch, on the pitch, what do you see as the problem?
it's first of all the fans, right? For me, I always say the fans have a too high of an expectation for the club where it's creating a problem for the actual club. That club needed a direct root root from or stem what's it root from stem um, complete change.
Mm,
The problem is they want to do the change slowly in stages without destroying the club, which is destroying the club.
mm,
And the longer, I mean, these small things that they're doing, that we just spoke about now, are not going to drastically change the culture at the club.
mm,
If they want new, more vibrant, they need to spend on a stadium. They need to modernize Old Trafford. They need to
mm,
make it attractive again for people to come there. Not only to come there to get paid a lot of money, but to actually go there to a place where they're going to improve their careers. A lot of these young guys now, they're not looking at United as the end game. Whereas Trushu, whenever people came to United, that was the dream. It's like I was
mm.
young, I grew up, and I want to play for United or Madrid or Bayern Munich, wherever you come from. But now that's no longer the case. The stepping stone, if I do well or if I manage to do well at United, I can make it to City or I can make it to Liverpool or I can make it to Chelsea. And that's not really, that should never be the case for a team like United. And that's just my 2 cents. I think, Mike, what do you think?
A thesis is required to dissect it.
Do you think it's a similar situation to Chelsea under
No,
Poch when you guys were in that sort of bad
no,
slump?
no. So
I think the problem is it needs to start from recruitment. And the problem, you guys have got too many players on high wages that are not performing. Do we really, does United have a style of play in place? Not exactly.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's going to be hard for you guys to actually get rid of your high earners. Unless Rashford is going to go to Saudi. Casemiro needs to go to Saudi.
Or cut losses. They cut losses, Mike. You just cut losses. You tell yourself, look, that money for Rashford, we don't need it. If he needs to go for free like they did with De Gea, they must do it. If that's going to be
They're
your
not going to do that if they're going to be cutting 40K.
But how can they do it? How do they do that to De Gea? I mean, if De Gea's contract runs out, then you can do to Gea. Then you need to do to everyone else who you feel that is a
But how
player.
many years does Rashford have left?
It can't be.
How many years does Rashford have left?
I
2.
think it's like no. He just signed a contract in 2023.
His contract is ending
Probably
in
about
2 years.
Oh yes, we're in 2025. Yeah, it's 2.5 years. I
That's
think it goes up to 2027, 2028.
Yeah, but-
Somewhere.
If you're gonna sell him, who's gonna buy him on 300 a week?
and how much? Okay, so whoever is buying, you have to factor in how much United are going to sell him. I know it's pure profit because he's freaking what's this? He's from your dev, but still, you can't, because I think you're gonna price him at like 40.
Who's gonna buy him for 40?
Nobody's
gonna buy
paying
40
million for him.
at most.
Nobody's
At most,
25 million, bro. 25 at
yeah.
max.
Who's gonna buy him for 25 million?
That's the problem. There's
And the thing is,
West
The thing is,
Ham.
wages-
West Ham-
It won't be a Premier League side. It won't be a Premier
Yeah,
League side because
Saudi.
Premier League sides that are well run and
Saudi.
have good owners and directors will tell a manager or whoever, this is a problem kid. He's on 350K a week. He's been a problem for years at United. Even if it's 20 million, no. He's 20.
And
He's to
the
28
problem with
this year.
Saudi, they've reached their cap with
Yep.
their foreign players. So no Saudi team
Like-
is taking anyone this
Any
transfer.
Premier League team will spend 40 million on Mamouche from Frankfurt.
Omar Mamouche.
Then go buy Rashford.
Rashford
It
at
makes
20
no
pounds.
sense.
I think that the problem Mike spoke on recruitment. I watched Xerxes come in, and Xerxes. I was trying to understand where he's going to fit in. Okay, but I thought maybe whoever went and recruited him knew what they were doing. But now I'm of the belief or of the view that when you guys recruited him, it was purely on a spreadsheet where you looked at his stats and you didn't look at does it fit in the team or where does it fit in the team. It was purely an Excel spreadsheet that someone looked at stats wise and they said, you know what, we need this boy to come in. And
Yeah, that's always been the problem, right, with them. Remember, I spoke in the group in terms of signing players. You sign players to stop them from going to other teams rather than signing players to make it fit for your club.
Yeah.
They went and they signed Sanchez to stop City from signing Sanchez because that would have been a problem if Sanchez went to.
That would have been a very big problem for City that year if they got Sanchez.
Yeah.
Because also Martial and Rashford that year were in top form. When we signed Sanchez, all of that went to the toilet. I don't think you guys bought anyone. You just bought Laporte that you know, and you all just went on a mad run and won the league. Sanchez would have changed all of that.
Many times we went and we got Ronaldo. Yes, Ronaldo did really well for United. The problem was whatever it was, but they didn't really need Ronaldo. They really had guys who were firing in top form. There was good morale in the change room. Everyone was doing well, not doing well, but we could see what was trying to happen. But it's been a constant thing. Lenny Yoro is on almost 4 or 5 times his salary because they wanted to stop him from going to Madrid. They honestly didn't need Yeni, to be honest, but if you sign Yeni, you have to let go of your other guys, right? You have to let go of Maguire, or you have to let go of Evans or someone. You can't
Maguire's
sign
got an extension today on his contract, a 1-year extension.
I saw that story again. And those sort of things, see these small things, these small tweaks and decisions, they eventually
They add
catch
up.
right?
And I do
Same
think-
things of these small decisions of letting players go at City, like these small tiny decisions of letting these small guys go to other clubs starts to catch up with you. Now you have to go to the market and sign frivolously.
Right now, they can't afford
second-hand players for on loan, pay their wages, pay a loan fee. These guys come in, don't do a job. You're stuck with them for the rest of the season. You're still paying their wages. It's just the same cycle. And the people that are paying for it are the hardworking staff at United who this is their livelihood, this is their bread and butter. And they're the ones that are getting their salaries cut out because of the mistakes on the pitch.
I think the Ineos group, when they came in, you guys you put a bit too much pressure because you believe that business acumen, they will get you guys what's his name, who's the broke billionaire, you believe that he loves Man United, he's a Man United from like back in the day in his youth. He's Man United, he's a businessman end of the day, and the way that he's moving, it's fucking disgusting. If
Mm.
we're being honest, and
He's moving
he's
like
like your
Ashley.
typical.
He's moving like, what's that guy? Ashley from Newcastle.
Yeah,
Yep.
Ashley
Mike
version
Ashley.
2. Mike Ashley version 2. And I look at it and I'm like, right now, for them to get talent in, they need to let go of a few players. And I, I mean, if I was Rashford, knowing very well that I've just signed a 3-year extension, 400k a week, he's on what, 375 or I think
350.
350. Yeah,
350.
350. I don't have to force a move out. I know that there's talks that Napoli is interested.
There's
Um,
ways to force the move out. You make him
Now
train.
cancel the contract. That's
Make
if they cancel
make
the
him
contract, then
train.
that's it.
No, if he has a 2-year contract, you can't, right? Because you have to pay him that money anyway. Which the
Yeah,
problem
pay
is,
to get him
United
done.
don't want. No, United don't want to pay that money. They want Rashford to be like, look, I can see this is not going anywhere between me and the club. Let me go. They
No,
forcing his agent. They forcing the agent's hand to say, look, we need to get my player out of here. And if that agent wants to stay there, Rashford loses more. But yes, we'll pay you 350k, but now you go train with under 21s and you go play with under 21s, like we
Mm.
do with everyone else. It cannot be like in a situation like this, basically what I'm saying is it cannot be we treat someone like this and other people will treat them like this, and other people there cannot be conditions. If we
Yeah,
want to
but
have a club, it needs to be clear for everyone.
nah, but Shays, remember, dude, the guy's on 350, dude. I'm chilling, dude. Like, where am I
you know what I'm
losing?
saying?
Like, even Ben Chilwell, dude. Ben
In your
Chilwell,
in
The
the,
under
the
21s.
out
hometown, the
here.
town that you grew up in, you're playing for the club you love. 350
You work
bags.
Monday to Friday, train
Daily, ask
weekends
Daily.
3 times.
Do you know what Daily Ali is? Do you know what Daily Ali is now for doing that? Just for chilling, just to
Yeah,
chill. Be
I
relaxed
don't
and get
even
your
know where
career.
Dele Alli is.
I'm
I
telling you,
don't-
that's
But Deli
exactly what
Ali was
I'm.
not earning nowhere near what Rashford and them are earning.
Daily Ali
350,
is
dude.
still a lot of money.
350 a
It's,
week.
it's still a lot of money, my brother.
6
350
million
a
But
rand
week.
a week, cheese.
but
6 million rand a
350
week.
a week.
but if
To
you're
work,
20,
train Monday
if
to
you're 20,
Friday.
however, if you're
Weekend.
20,
Oh,
however, my brother, and you can see your career starting to head down the drain, you're looking to play. But after
he
Rashford's
doesn't
contract
need
is
much,
done,
dude. 350 a week. He doesn't, bro.
after your contract is done, my brother, you are going back to something like 100k or less than that, 80k at Portsmouth, coached by Wayne Rooney. Then you'll realize your career. Then you'll look at your career, ne? You'll look at your career and be like, I should not have chilled at that club for that 350. It's not
Yeah,
worth my
Nah,
I
time.
think
dude.
I
With
think
that
mistakes
type
were
of
made.
money, Dali
On,
Ali, I'm assuming Dali Ali was less than 100 a week at
yeah,
Tottenham.
Daniel Levy
No
doesn't play
way.
games.
No
Nah,
way.
Daniel Levy doesn't
Not
play
at
games.
Tottenham, not Dele Alli, not at Tottenham.
Yeah, he was
But
less than
I think
100.
yeah, mistakes were made on both parties. Like with this whole Rashford situation. The interview, ill-advised. He shouldn't have done that interview. And I don't know what is he doing interviews for, saying he's looking for a new challenge. That's fucking
Yeah,
bullshit.
that
If
was.
you're contracted to United, or you contract to any club, your focus is this is the challenge that you are facing. I don't know whether maybe it was lost in translation and but yeah, he shouldn't have. And the manager yanking him to like, yo, come through after the interview, where he called him against Newcastle. He's like, nah, come through. And then you guys are losing, and he's on the bench, and he doesn't even ask him to warm up, or that was petty.
I'm glad Amorim did that. I'm actually very glad that Amorim did that, because that's a vision of what's to come if he's going to stay. You know, like I said this about Ronaldo. Look, I loved Ronaldo growing up, but you don't do interviews like that. I understand why he did that. The thing, it's not like what he said was wrong, but you don't do things like that. You don't say things like that, and he did. And I don't care that he was on the bench, and I think Amorim did make him go do a few sprints and then back, but he didn't send him on even though we were losing, and I didn't mind that because we weren't going to win that game, and even with Rashford on the pitch. I knew Amorim was proving a point when he sent Anthony on instead of Rashford. I knew that he was definitely making a point when he
Oh,
did
no, no,
that.
no, no. But to be fair, Threshold, he's been the most subbed on player since Amorim's arrived, Anthony.
Yeah, but yeah, you should maybe offer like Napoli or someone like a 2-for-1. Like you can take Rashford, you get Anthony as well. Just I don't know, man. There's so many players that are on high. Luke Shaw as well, guys. I've
Yeah,
spoken
nah,
about it before.
yeah.
I loved Luke Shaw when he was fit, but he disrespected the club by he hasn't played a game since February, and
He's
then he
injured.
goes to the Euros and he plays like whenever he was relied upon, he played for England. Then he comes back and he's injured again, and he's on 180 a week. You
Wait,
can't be
wait.
doing that.
What about Mason Mount, my brother? You know you have Mason Mount in your team.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Mason Mount is, I don't know what
Wait,
that guy.
okay, let's look at some positives. Napoli gives you
I remember the first time I did a show with Mike and I asked him, "Do you miss my?" He said, "Oh, I sleep nicely." Bro, I envy this. I envy this because having Mason Mount is like it's such a liability, dude.
How much is he on?
Such a
300 also.
liability.
Yo,
He's on like I think like 180, near enough 200, but he's
no,
out
let's see.
March.
Mason Mount
No,
salary.
man, he's on
No,
300.
no, check the
he's on-
pictures. X send them in the group. You can just check the pictures. But my man, that is shocking, bro. That guy. Look, I'd have Jack Grealish than him. To be honest,
Yeah,
I'd take Jack Grealish over him.
Jack
any
Grealish can
day.
at least dribble.
Yeah,
Grealish
He's
can
on
dribble. It's
he's
the
on
only thing he can
250.
do.
he's on.
Huh?
How much?
No, I
300.
lied. Holy shit, he's on 300.
I told
Money?
you.
Oh my
I
Oh
told
god!
you.
my
I
god!
told
I
you.
can't believe
I told you. It's money mount.
Oh my god!
I
You
can't believe it. I can't believe
wait,
it.
but can I tell you what's worse? What's worse than being injured till March and being on 300K a week, right?
You gave
He
him
has
number
number
7.
7. He wears the number 7. After all of that, right? We gave this guy a center midfielder, right? We gave him the number 7. And yo,
So wait, his contract is a 4-year contract, up until 2028.
You know how
Yeah,
much he was
yeah, you're
earning,
in
put
it
in
for
the
the long
transfer
haul.
He's
market,
earning 80,
huh?
man.
Trishul, you're in it for the long haul, my guy.
He was on 80 per week at Chelsea. Went
Yep.
to
Yeah.
United, 300.
Yes, it's crazy, Jess.
And that's a
You know,
bump.
I was
And
just
that's a
busy thinking
proper
about
bump.
that. And just
That's what
crazy.
politicians move like in South Africa. That's a proper
Bro,
bump.
Even Cheese, you mentioned Lenny Yoro. Like the kid is talented, but what 50 million for him and he's on 80K a week at 17, 18. Like we didn't need him. I know he's brilliant, but like we didn't need him. Why are
no,
you
but
signing a centre back for the future when you currently
yes, like you see, so maybe I made it wrong. Like, if you're gonna sign him, you have to let go of the old guys, right?
Yeah,
If you have three centre backs in Maguire, in Lindelof, in Evans, if you want to sign another young centre back, you have to let go of at least two of them.
yeah.
You have to let go of at least two of them. But if you keep all of them, what are you trying to? There's no sense of direction in terms of saying, well, we go in the direction of getting a young centre back in the future to build them for the first team. But now we still have these three old guys who are taking up our wage bill.
Direction
Now
out the
we
window when we let De Gea go for free and spend 55
yeah,
million on. That's when
On a
direction
downgrade.
went out the window.
yeah. I mean, and now they're like, yeah, they want to buy a keeper to have competition for Nana. You guys literally let go of a keeper who would have been competition for Nana. I was
Like I don't know how
Okay,
many
so
of you watch Serie A, but almost every person that watches Serie A can all come together and say he's been the best keeper in the league this season.
my brother. I've been watching Fiorentina, bro. Fiorentina, he's so good. He's
Mm,
training the young keepers in the club now.
mm.
He's building the young keepers in the club to start doing well in the team. I mean, there was a game where I think it was a Champions League or Conference League game, where they played under 21 keeper because I think he had an injury or a suspension or something. And that keeper actually he promised to buy the whole team drinks or I think dinner if that keeper kept a clean sheet. And the kid kept a clean sheet, we had to buy the whole guy's dinner. So he's been really good, dude. I mean, I can't imagine the keeper's been better. Of course, there's always the same guys at Jan Sommer, and so forth, and Manyan at AC Milan, but he's been really good, dude.
Mm.
okay,
We let that
predictions.
go for
We know
free. I understand the wages, but he accepted. We offered him a contract with lower wages, which he accepted, and then we still rescinded that offer and let him go for free, and then replaced him with whatever the hell Onana is supposed to be.
okay, we know Rashford is ill this weekend, so he's not gonna travel.
He's ill.
Um,
He's ill.
yeah,
He's
what are
ill.
the predictions? Yeah.
I don't. I'll just be happy if we score a goal, or not even a goal. I'll just be happy if we get in their box. To be honest with you, I don't see how we do anything against them. The style of play, especially when you're not trained under that style of play against a team that are relentless when they press you, and our players are not press resistant at all. The only one in that entire team, I think that's fit, is Mainu. Ugarte, I think he's still not fully fit yet.
No,
But
he's coming back from suspension. He wasn't injured. He's fit. He's coming
oh
back from
yes,
suspension.
yes. So I probably think it'll be Igate and Casemiro. Because I don't see why you
Hey,
would.
dude, have you watched Casemiro lately?
Yes, yes, I have. I know. I saw. I see. I see. When I saw him kick the ball out of the stands when we were losing 2-0 to Newcastle, I saw.
That
I
that goal
knew.
that should have been.
Oh my days, man! It's a shit show, and I think I think this is karma for what we did in the league under Sir Alex all those years ago, because we are bad. We are bad to watch. It's a badly run club. There's nothing going for us. And the thing is, I've said this last year. Everything I'm saying now, I said this last year. I said it 2 years before that. We're not Manchester United are a big club, but we're not playing like a big club. We're not operating like a big club. We're not doing anything like a big club. If you're firing or taking away money from stewards, that's not how big clubs operate. So,
So let me paint a picture for you, a quick stupid picture. Based on Mike's prediction that Chelsea is going to catch an L against Palace, Palace is sitting on 20 points, you're sitting on 22 points. If Palace beat Chelsea, they leapfrog you. You're going to
I think Everton have a game in hand, and I
yes.
think if they win, they also go above us, and then we're only like 4 points off the relegation zone, and we'll be 16.
Yeah, so they've got they've got 18 games, 17 points, and you're on 22. So if they play the 2 games, they can technically leapfrog you, or not they will leapfrog you.
Chris, if you're listening, my brother, the ceremony you need to do this weekend is heavy. Heavy ceremony you need to do this weekend, my brother. This weekend you need a serious you need a whole goat, bro, like a black one, and a black chicken, and something serious, bro. This weekend's not gonna be good for you, man. It's not gonna be good.
Sorry, I forgot about the chats. Shivard contractually can't make him train for too long under
Oh, this is
21.
best, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Mason 300. Anthony Cass.
Hell, look at the
Cass,
state of that.
Yeah.
Look at that. I wish it was 350 rand though. I don't know why you put rand sign over there.
There we
This-
go.
But I want to take you back, threshold, to a comment that Onke and I made last season when you guys won the FA Cup, and you said you need to sack Etihad now. This cup is going to make it seem like everything is fine and dandy
Yeah,
and good and there's no problems. And
I was guilty of that. I thought the cup would give us a new step, but clearly it didn't work.
and again, right? The thing is that you watch City that whole season last season, and out of all the games I've watched, the game against United, that was not City. I was watching the game and I was like, this is not City. They are not in
yeah.
this
You guys were
game. They
hungover.
didn't try.
You guys were
Yeah,
proper hangover.
the guys definitely said it, right? And the problem is, again, even the game when you guys beat us recently, and I was like, we lost against freaking Steaua Bucharest, whoever we lost against. That's how bad City are. And if you think beating City is a turning point for a team, it's definitely misguided, because we were definitely the worst, probably the second worst team in the league now after you guys. But that's where you are. That's the state of the club. You guys let go of Ten Hag too late. Amorim was trying to plug holes where he shouldn't be plugging holes. He should be there trying to win invincibles, then coming to solve the problem. But yeah, it's gonna be a long weekend for you guys.
It's gonna be a very bad
Someone
week.
just sent me a text. They sent me it's a Liverpool starting 11, and they're saying this is the combined 11 between Man United and Liverpool, and it's only Liverpool players.
I can't
It's
imagine.
gonna be a hiding, man. I've accepted it. I've mentally prepared for it.
Nah, but like, hey, you never know, man. This is football. I think all the betting guys will take a chance with United.
No, if anyone is watching you as a gambling man, don't put money on.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do
The
it. Your wife
gambling man
will
is
shout
the
at you.
gambling man is
You
in
waste all
here.
that money.
The gambling man is here. Here's
Mike, don't do
a
it.
gambling man.
Don't do it. We're not gonna turn up to Anfield, a place that we haven't won in 9 years, and win. We're not gonna do that, Mike.
Yeah, maybe that's what you're gonna use to that's what the club needs to change its fortunes. But anyway, guys, before we call it, the sunglasses, man, the sunglasses that messed up everything for everyone. Any last parting shot? I know. Oh God, there we go. Stay humble. Stay humble. Jeez, remember
If
that.
you guys had to predict the top 6 now, based on now, what are you going with?
Top 6. Are we going champions and we're going second and?
Yeah.
I can give you. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, Forest, City.
At 6, we're not making 6. We'll be lucky to make it to
Stay
7.
humble.
We're lucky to make it to
Stay
7.
humble.
Like for me, 6. I'll have to go Newcastle. I think Nottingham, if they continue the form, 5th is theirs. 4th, I'm gonna go actually top Liverpool first. Second's gonna be Arsenal. I think Arsenal have a bit more managerial experience than Chelsea.
Yeah.
3 Chelsea, 4 City, and yeah, then 5, 6, and 7 Forest, and then Newcastle. United 17.
Mike,
You
your
know,
predictions?
I can't even like laugh and call you out for that, because that is genuinely what might happen. At the rate we're going, like, bloody hell, man. Jeez, it's bad. I think I agree with what you said. I think it will be Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City. I think Forest will fall off eventually. I think they could maybe get a last place Europa League, so 6th or 7th in Conference League. But remember, this is a team that are not used to being in this position. It will catch up to them. I think Newcastle have turned up brilliantly, so I would go with them for 5th. 6th, I don't know. Honestly, I think 6th or 7th will be Forest. I think United will. I think we'll get top half with Spurs. Like we'll be 9th and 10th or something like that. But I don't see us getting Europe next season, which is going to damage us financially. But we'll talk about that on the United show.
It's my turn.
Go for it.
It's Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle. I'm probably put City 4th. Nottingham Forest 1st. Chelsea.
I knew as soon as I heard Newcastle, I was like, yeah, this is very
You hate Enzo, ne?
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think we can call it. It promises to be an interesting weekend. I think come the Monday show where everything is back to normal should be very, very interesting. The guys that were online, much appreciated. I know it was short notice, and it's been a while since we did a Friday episode, so we thought instead of just drinking like everyone else, let's go and have a bit of a therapy session. But guys, thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And all the best weekend. Guys, it's been good. Let's call it.
Cheers,
Okay,
guys.
guys.
Sharp boys.